Welcome. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypno Acuity. Tonight, the show is 7 Ways Why I Unprogrammed My Programming. Something I've awakened to and opened up to is I've been programmed by a socialized way of life and to try to stay inside the followerocracy of society. And what I discovered is I was locked and blocked in education and everything everybody else did. So when I started the unprogramming, I awakened to my own talents. But we're so programmed that everything is inside something the outside sources taught us. But really, when you open up to it, everything you've done is self-taught. You taught yourself everything. We taught ourselves to follow with whoever we wanted it to be, but we never opened up to listen and inspire ourselves to understand we're awakened and alive inside. So when I opened up to this and I realized that I was programmed, I started asking the questions, who programmed me? Well, it's a whole society. But I programmed myself because I tried to do it to please people, stay inside the education of other people. But what I really opened up to is everything this world has been taught by the trolling trolls of the world. They were silently and unknowingly teaching us things to keep us controlled. You are the controller of your life, but you are the controlled by outside sources. And that's something I really opened up to, is being controlled by outside sources. And when I started this, I got a little saying, I laugh at me, I'm free. And I laughed at me. I set myself free by stepping up and listening to the world. But I also understand I expand out of yesterday by listening to my present moment. And that's something I really opened up. Everybody talked self-help, personal growth, self-improvement. They talk about the past, things they've done, how they got there. But very few people understand everything that's happened to this moment is to expand you to here, because life occurs for you, not against you. And that's something that took me a long, long time to understand, that my life occurs for me. And it was opening conscious clarity, unleashing rebellious energy for me to expand. See, we've been taught to think and know and be inside the knowledge. But what we really are is we're free-flowing energy. And we can listen and hearken the free-flowing energy, but you can never think and know and listen at the same time. And it took me 66 years to listen, and I'm proud of that now. But when you listen to the airwaves and you listen to the airways of the universe and your spirit, but you listen to the inspiration of the universe, but you listen to your streaming intuition. See, your inspiration, intuition, imagination, your trend-setting talents are all above everything you was taught in school. Everything you was taught in school is a foundation. Everything your free-flowing energy shows you, it expands you through life. But as you're expanding through life, you rise out of the thinking. And something I really opened up to is liberation over heal. When you use the word liberate, you feel yourself rise out of the situation, opening up to the fresh foresight and the light of life that's here. But when you start thinking and knowing, you go back into yesterday. And thinking and knowing is a programming from outside sources, the school system, yourself, and your parents. Something that I had to really expand out of was my parents. And I really had to understand they controlled me. But it was a subconscious and frozen in time representations that controlled me. So when I finally had the courage to admit that I was controlled by my childhood, I had the audacity to go back and question it. You're going to question your way out of everything, but you're never going to conquer fear. Because as soon as you say the word conquer, the subconscious mind puts up a barrier. And fear is a frozen in time representation that kept you safe at some time. So when I opened up to unprogramming my life, I started realizing I was being controlled by outside sources, and I was trying to live inside their boundaries. And their boundaries are the limitations of thinking and knowing and the education, everything we've always done. But it's unprogramming the programming of ourselves. And you do that through listening and admitting that you're following something else. See, dreams are our natural talents, showing us a better way of life. How does that feel? My dreams show me a better way of life, but your dreams are your natural talents. Them are your unique talents that we've never been showing we had. And our talents are it's beyond everything we've always done. But we've always stayed inside the boundaries. And stop setting boundaries, because boundaries are fears. And actually they make new fear as you do it. Something I opened up to is, why am I apprehensive about this situation? If you take the word fear and use the word apprehensive or apprehension, you stop going back into the memory of the subconscious mind and the events. Because we've been taught to live from our events. And then when people are telling you stories about their past, that's to make them look good in your eyes. Because every event that's unsavory or happened in your past, because the past is present moment. It's being activated by the outside sources. And that's something Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity shows you, is you're the limitations of your life. But when you follow other people, you're stuck in their limitations. And I unpunctuated my writings, and that's the best thing I ever did, was I unpunctuated them, because there's a flow in the unpunctuated. It's capital letters, 3 lines, and it allows you to read it your way, and you read them out loud, you expand. So we've been so caught up in staying the same and trying to think and know our way through life. But I'm going to be very honest. You think and know your way through all the way to yesterday. And then it becomes a box. And we're inside that box, and then we become afraid of our own. We're more afraid of our own intuition, imagination, innovation, inspiration than we are anything in the world, because nobody's telling you what to do. And see, we search for people to tell us what to do. And I did it. And, let's be truthful, I still do it. Everybody's got this big, tough, hard shell that they're tough. The invisible and the inaudible and the unexplained, they have a way of tormenting us without us realizing they're tormenting us. We torment ourselves. This is something I really want people, when you unprogram yourself, you realize all the limitations, blockages are inside you. This is something, when I unprogram myself, this is something I really opened up to. When something's occurring out here, and you think it's out in front of you and you're just all wound up about it, it's in here. Everything that torments you from the outside world is a blockage inside you. And something else I opened up to living my life through here. And that way I can color the subconscious scenery with my dreams. I'm not a very good multitasker. The best thing I ever did is admit my shortcomings, because that's all they are, little shortcomings. But that's who I am. When you can admit and unprogram yourself by admitting you're athletically imperfect and liberated imperfection, you kind of throw the outside world out of the way and open up to feeling good about yourself. If people understood, when they unprogram and unmanipulate themselves from the socialized system, you're going to discover how talented, but how wise you are. Would you rather be smart or would you rather be wise? Wise is an uninhibited. Smart is inside something else. This is something I really opened up to myself. This is the way I expanded my life and rose out of everything I've always done in life. Because I was a pouter. Oh, Jesus, I could pout. Get angry. Oh, yeah. And all angry is fear. When I admitted that, I had to go, kind of did the head scratch. But really, anger is afraid to listen, but it's also being afraid to say, I don't know. I don't know is probably the simplest 3 words in the world. I don't know, so I'm listening to the airways for the wisdom, insight, and clarity to rise me out of my current situation. And I threw the word shift out of my life. I use the word rise. I'm always rising out of something. To be chauffeured on to my pathways of prosperity. How do you like that, being chauffeured? See, you can have a limousine driver and it can show you the way and you can just have fun. See, the thing about liberation is it's a simple saying. I liberate me from me sets me free to enjoy life. Because all the stuff you're trying to overcome is within you. So as you awaken to understand, you are the talent, the innovator, you're the innovator, the intuitor of your life. Your free-flowing energy is your intuition, imagination. But however, there is no school book in the world going to connect you to that. It's about listening to your daily life that's in front of you. Your daily life liberates you from the past. And once you start liberating yourself from the past, you start understanding everything occurs right here. And a lot of times when you have a recall from the past, it's something out here in your daily life activated the frozen in time representation to move you forward. See, the people in the world are very talented. But however, we've never been allowed to be talented because it's outside the school system and everything was taught in school. Actually, the more I awaken to understand the school system, the way it is a limitation. But you are unlimited and uninhibited in imagination and inspiration as you listen into the free-flowing energy. And something else I've really opened up to, words to me mean a lot. So I use the words inspiration, understand, wisdom, and revelations to move forward. Because when you understand and you have the wisdom, you're never attached to the situation. Knowledge comes from books. Wisdom comes from the experiences of your life. And the more I use wisdom instead of knowledge, it just liberates me from me. And I took the words change, heal, create, transformation, forgiveness, think, no, learn out of my life. Because as soon as you hear the word think and know in a conversation, your programming steps in and your viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs take over the conversation. Usually them conversations start dwindling down as soon as somebody says think and know, I think and know this. because, well, I'm talking about myself. My egotistical arrogance would raise its stubborn self, and then we'd have to have, and then I'd have to get my know-it-all ignorance in there, and then conversation get end. Then I'd get frustrated, and then there, and once I opened up to realize, if I just listen for the words that are being expressed to me and allow the inspiration to come from here, we could have a better conversation. But I really opened up to this, and I'll just be honest here. There's 5 things that created all the hell in my life: my egotistical arrogance, my know-it-all ignorance, my stubborn thinking, hard-headed knowing, having to be right, and everything had to be my way. That was my 5 things that stopped the flow of life. And when I opened up and admitted that, I laughed at me. Jeez, did I laugh? And that is something I've really opened up to. And I really want to say, if you can start saying, I laugh at me, I'm free. But I liberate me from me by laughing at me, to understand I'm imperfect and I'm okay with it. Because perfection stops all flow. Because the world is unrehearsed, unedited, uninhibited. And so everything we learned in school, and when the universe or something throws a curveball at us, we swing with the knowledge we had. We never swing with the wisdom and insight of inside that situation. Because the wisdom to expand is inside all of our chaos and all the adversity, controversy, and challenges, because all them is awakenings. Chaos, challenges, adversity, controversy are awakenings. When you can admit to their awakenings, you can open up to your adventurous stroll through life, because then life becomes an adventure. Life is a messy mystery with riddles for us to expand through. And see, we'll never think our way through a mystery or the riddles, but we can listen and question our way through everything. That's the unprogramming of your own programming. That was me. When something now, when I have something fresh coming in or something new, I get grumpy. I start getting grumpy, and I just kind of have a unsavory taste for the world. I say, okay, what's coming in? Then I start questioning that. And then about 2-3 days later, here comes the wisdom and insight to rise me. So when I learned to listen and not be caught up in everything, I really opened up to understand I encompass all the talent to move forward. All people encompass the talent. It's that we've listened to people tell us that we didn't encompass the talent. That's a lie. Because, something I rose out of, and I'm going to be honest about this, self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, I stopped listening to that. And I never read a punctuated book, because punctuated books have the author's viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, knowledge, and limitation. And that's the way they think the world should be. That's why I'm punctuated my writings. I just write the writings and then let the people read them, and they can discover what's for them. And if it's not for them, that's fine. But it's really about people having the courage to understand they encompass the sleek, unique talents to move their life forward. People are so talented, but we're not talented inside the socialized boundaries. We're out in the intuitive and the imagination. We're in the free-flowing airways of the universe is where your talents are. And something else I really opened up to is the assets of the world are people. People are the greatest assets of the world when they open up to their own talents. And see, business and education only take you so far, but your talents will rise you to the penthouse. And this is my favorite saying: I think, know, and talk my way to the outhouse, I listen and intuit my way to the penthouse. That way I open up to who I am and where I'm moving forward. But I really want, this show is about people opening up to understand if you voyage into yourself and uncover and discover your talents and your unique mystique, you'll expand through the world. And you're going to start rising out of where you're at. And I got a class coming out, How is Today Mirror Yesterday? This is what this show is about. What's about? I liberate me for me to stop healing the past to liberate my now. That's what this show is about. And I want to thank you. I'm Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity. My website's mycowboywisdom.com. My email is robert@mycowboywisdom.com. And may everybody's day in life be as blessed as you are a blessing to me and the world. So thank you and good night.